Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. Today it's going to be a very different kind of video. This is going to be a holiday special. So in that spirit, I decided I'd analyze a part of text of Chapter 2, The Shadow of the Past from Lord of the Rings. Anyone familiar with this chapter will know what I'm referring to. Became a fireside story for young hobbits and eventually mad Baggins who used to vanish with a bang and a flash and reappear with bags of jewels and gold, became a favorite character of legend and lived on long after all the true events were forgotten. We kind of get in this part of the story a reference to, of course, Father Christmas, as the English knew him, or Santa-Claus, as the Americans know him. This is set up as a bit of a myth that gives rise to the later stories of Santa. The idea being that you have here a framed narrative at play with actual mythology and tradition. I'm only going to summarize a bit of the ideas behind Christmas. They're derived from, of course, St. Nicholas, whose feast date is December 6th, which by the time this video's up, that would have been yesterday. Said to have been born in Myra in modern-day Turkey in 280. St. Nick was said to have saved a group of young ladies from being sold into slavery by supplying a dowry for them. As to the belief in Sinterklaas, which is the Dutch name for this figure, he arrived around the time of the 1770s with a great deal of Dutch people who came and decided to publicly celebrate the figure. And this became popularized in the US, notably with 'Twas the Night Before Christmas story, which many of us in North America grew up with. And of course, you got, almost 100 years later, the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that also came about. We have to bear in mind that the story of Santa is of a figure providing people with hope, joy, with this holiday being one of Tolkien's favorites, as it was popularized throughout Britain in the 19th century, especially by the likes of Charles Dickens. And of course, Christmas also teaches the moral lesson of you gotta give more than you take, and of simple kindnesses. The thing with Bilbo's arc is that in The Hobbit, Bilbo ends up trying to teach dwarves towards the end to simply appreciate if more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. And that's really the idea behind Bilbo Baggins. He kind of passes this along to a lot of the dwarves and people of the Dale. As to the hobbits, he of course disappears with a flash and a bang because he dons the One Ring just at the peak of his celebration in order to disappear and frighten the other hobbits, with Gandalf supplying the explosion a little, or the bang, so that he can cover the retreat. Thus, we get a bit of a reference to a founding idea for a Christmas myth of sorts, at least in terms of the literature of Tolkien. The other major Christmas story of Tolkien's was the Father Christmas letters, with Father Christmas appearing also in the Narnia story by C.S. Lewis. Except there it is to give arms to the Pevensie children and various special gifts. Bilbo in the Christmas myths of the Legendarium does not give out weapons, but rather jewelry and baubles, which seems closer to how we might look upon such a figure and how we kind of perceive Father Christmas. What we have is a commentary on Bilbo's role in The Hobbit, commentary on his relationship also with Frodo and Sam and Pippin and Merry, as he gave them wisdom and knowledge and kindness far greater than jewels and gold, as he taught them all about the elves and put in a few of them the thirst for adventure and to actually meet the elves, as in the case of Samwise. And so you have here a metaphorical set of gifts that he gives and literal when he gives out the mithril mail to Frodo, as well as Sting too. On the negative side, he gives as a gift the One Ring, of course. I hope you enjoyed this short little video, and I hope it wasn't too sentimental. I thoroughly enjoyed this season, and I have maybe one other video planned, as this is probably my favorite holiday of them all. And I kind of feel that Bilbo needed to be examined as a father figure and as a kind of kindly old man in regards to the Shire. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button, as though you were Morgoth trying to put an end to Fingolfin.